Disassembly of the Lamy Safari is relatively straightforward and can be generalized to the Vista or the Al-Star, both pens that look a bit different but are basically the same. Take the cap off and unscrew the barrel. If necessary, turn the barrel around and post it so that you can store it easily and it won't roll off your desk. Then take out the converter. The converter is easy to clean. Watch how Stephen grabs the little metal ring and slides it off entirely. The first time you do that it can be a little bit difficult, so maybe use a gripping material or a tissue, something that will give you better purchase as you try to move it out. Then slide out the actual piston, and by screwing the piston turning knob you can remove the entire piston. Maybe apply a little bit of pure silicone grease around the actual seal to ensure proper smooth operation. The same goes for the threads of the piston. Put a little bit of grease on there. The actual piston housing unit and turning knob require no maintenance. The ink reservoir is easily cleaned out by holding it under a tap like this. Probably put the plug in to make sure you don't actually flush your ink reservoir. Then roll up a tissue and gently slide it in from behind. It's easy, it will absorb moisture, and it's a nice way to do it. The actual section is fairly easy to maintain. Take a little bit of scotch tape and put it straight on the nib. That way you can slide it off very easily. Also useful if you don't want to maintain the pen but actually just want to switch nibs. The section and the feed can be separated, but the first time it's going to be difficult. The easiest way is to grab something that will give you a good purchase on the feed, and notice that the feed is made of pretty flimsy plastic. You don't want to grip it there, it's too thin. So grip it at this point where it's the widest. Carefully grip it with some material and pull it out straight. Do not twist the feed, as it actually has a notch at the bottom. Twisting it can break that part off, and that means you'll have to buy a new feed. When you replace the feed into the section, you may notice that right there at the bottom there are two little ridges. The little notch on top of the feed should slide right in there. So this would be the wrong way around, and you see that it's difficult to put in this feed. Turn it around and slide it in there. As said, the first time you do this it's going to be a little difficult, but after that it gets easier. Sometimes it helps to very gently wriggle the feed around a bit like this, which can dislodge it a bit easier. And at some point you can even do it with your bare hands without any gripping material. Note how the feed is actually a two-part system, with a little bit that slides off from the top. The narrowest bit goes near the nib end of the feed. You can just put it in there and slide it on. It will not click in place, but it will stay in place, if placed correctly. Take the feed, make sure you have the two notches, the ridges aligned well. Take the feed, slide it in there, and then push it in until it clicks. Again, be careful of the flimsy plastic. Then take the nib, slide it on there. Reassemble the converter. Slide on this metal ring. It might be useful to apply a little bit of silicone grease near the point where Stephen's little finger is right now. That creates an extra seal. Then put in the converter. Screw the barrel back in place. Put the cap on. Get yourself some haggis and you're done.